views and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the hosts and guests, and not necessarily those of the staff and management of WWDB-TV.
Whether she's walking the red carpet or doing interviews, you'll find her with celebrities and all the latest news. She's here, she's there, she's everywhere, she's always on the go. So sit back, relax, and get ready, 'cause it's the Corey Taylor Talks Show.
Hello everybody, and welcome to Corey Taylor Talks live from Las Vegas. I am so excited about my guests today because I think what they do is incredible, and it's something that I think a lot of people don't even really realize is a really big thing that's across the nation. And I'm just honored to have you guys on because I think it's really just an amazing thing that is so needed, which is horrible. It shouldn't be needed, but it is. So we have Bikers Against Child Abuse, which obviously the name kind of explains a lot. But why don't you introduce yourselves and tell people about what you are?
Sure. Well, my name is Spaz. I am with the Nevada chapter of Bikers Against Child Abuse.
And I'm Coffee, and I'm with the Nevada chapter of Bikers Against Child Abuse.
So pretty much what we do is we're a body of bikers whose main goal is to empower abused children to not feel afraid of the world in which they're currently in. We do that in a few ways. The first way is we involve them with our organization.
Right.
So they get their own cut, their own road name that they get to choose, they get a back patch. They also get two members, or primary contacts as we call them, that they can call on 24 hours a day. So if they're waking up in the middle of the night with nightmares, they can call us.
Right.
If they're having a great day, they can call us. And then also if or when they have to go to court to testify, we also escort our kids to court.
That's great.
So they don't have to go alone. They
Right.
become part of our family, and in our family, people don't do hard things by themselves.
Right.
So
That's
we
amazing.
just give them that support by really our affiliation and just our physical presence,
Right.
just showing up for them.
Oh, huge difference, because like I said, it shouldn't be needed, but unfortunately child abuse is such a huge problem, and I think a lot of people try to cover it up and don't want, because it's a horrible thing to think about. But I think it's important that people talk about it and bring attention to it, and more important than that, actually help. And you guys are making such a big difference. And honestly, personally, if I was the person that was abusing a child and I saw a bunch of bikers all sitting there hating my guts, that is well deserved, I think that makes a big difference, and maybe hopefully makes some people think twice about it. So
Honestly, for our organization, we pay no mind or no attention to the perp.
right.
They don't mean anything to
Right.
us. Our goal is to empower that child so that child can stand up
Exactly.
for themselves and put that perp away on their own.
Yep.
They can do it. They're strong enough.
Yes.
We're just showing them how.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And everyone needs that
Of
support.
course.
And I'm sure a lot of them have to feel alone and like no one really understands. But I think it's amazing that you guys show them that you're part of a huge, big family across the country.
Oh,
So
we're worldwide.
Oh,
We're
worldwide,
in 47
really?
states and 18 countries as of today.
18. Holy cow. God, that's amazing. That's amazing. And how did you two actually get involved in it?
Well, I rode a motorcycle for about a decade before I started getting involved. And I was just out and about doing biker functions, going to rallies, poker runs, and kept seeing them around, and I had to go check it out.
Yeah.
Showed it to my first meeting, which is really how you would join if you wanted to. You can go to bacaworld.org and look up any chapter in the world. It'll tell you when they meet, where they meet. Show up.
Yeah. Awesome.
What about you, Coffee?
I got involved because my husband had joined, and then I just saw how much it empowered him
Right.
as a member. So I had to go check it out, and still here. And
That's
I'm
right.
staying.
No, I think it's just so amazing, and I gotta be honest, I don't know a lot about like motorcycles or anything, and like the motorcycle gangs and everything. So how do you guys like pick your name and such like that?
Sure. At least in our chapter, you pick your own road name.
Okay.
It can be anything that you want, really,
Right.
as long as it's child friendly.
Right.
Obviously, we can't have it
Of
be a
course.
curse word or
Right.
something bad.
Right.
But we kind of have an unspoken rule where if you don't pick it within 3 months, we might just pick it for you.
Gotcha.
Nobody's really let us get that far. They usually pick their own.
Right. Probably be a scary thing.
Yeah. It's just something that you find empowering, and really the fact that we use road names is for a couple reasons. Number one, it lets us stay anonymous,
Right.
so it lets us work the mission without having the general public kind of know who we are, where we're going.
Right.
It also helps protect our kids.
Right.
So I mean, you could corner me in an alley and ask me what Coffee's real name is, and I can't tell you.
We don't know that.
There's just nothing you
Right.
can do.
We don't need to know that.
It also helps us to stay out of the witness chair.
No.
So when our kids go to court, a lot of times what a defense attorney will do, who's helping the perp, is they'll subpoena everybody as a witness: mom, dad, grandma, grandpa. And when that happens, the other witnesses can't be in the courtroom with the child. So now they literally are alone. They've literally made it so they have to be
Jesus,
alone,
yeah.
go into that room all by themselves.
Jesus.
Well, we go by road names.
Right.
So good luck getting a judge to
That's
subpoena
right.
me by my fake name.
That's right.
It's never going to happen.
Right.
And also, to what we do to prevent that from happening, us from being witnesses, is the abuse and the details of it isn't known to our general chapter.
Gotcha.
It's not our business what happened.
Right.
Our business is to know that this child was abused and they need our help. That's
Right.
it.
Absolutely. And so I was going to actually ask that because I imagine, like you said, a lot of the defendants probably wouldn't want you guys there and stuff. Do all the courts let you go in, or have they tried to stop you, or
It's judge by judge.
judge by judge?
Yeah. If they tell us we can be in there, great. If they tell us we can't wear our cuts, awesome. If they tell us we need to be in a suit and tie, I'll put on a suit and tie. If they
Gotcha.
tell me I can't be in the building, well, then I'll be standing on the sidewalk out in front of the
Gotcha.
building.
Are they allowed to do that? And
Of course,
say, really?
it's their courtroom. Yeah, we do everything in our power to follow the judge's
Right,
rules because
right.
we don't want to potentially harm the kid's
Right.
case. Yeah, so if they tell us not to be in there,
Yeah,
we
good
politely
there.
stay away. Although we would like to be in the courtroom. at all times.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I think anyone with a heart,
Sure.
or with a brain or anything will let you. But I mean, obviously, defense lawyers, and so I can see them. I mean, but the judge and stuff, I can't imagine them not wanting you guys in there. But whatever, it is what it is. Right.
Well, it's their courtroom,
Right.
And they're running the show, so you got to
Right.
kind of follow the rules.
Right. You gotta listen.
Yep.
Which sucks. But no, I just think it's amazing. And, I actually wanted to bring this up. You guys might have even seen it. There's a horrible movie on Netflix called Abducted in Plain Sight. And it was about a girl who was kidnapped 3 times and brainwashed and just horrible, horrible things. And when she was an adult, she finally spoke out and was able to get the perp and everything. But Baca, even though she was an adult, was still helping her. And the perp actually showed up to one of her speaking events and stuff, and they chased him out and got him out of there because he was trying to cause problems. And I mean, I just really, that's when I first heard about you guys, and I was like, wow, that's amazing. And then I looked it up, and I was like, this is even better than I could have ever imagined. And I really think that's awesome. So you help all different kind of situations.
Of course.
Then, too.
Yeah, abuse is abuse is abuse,
Right.
and no child deserves abuse.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's so many stories, but do you have maybe like the best story of that you remember? I'm sure, like I said, a million, but like maybe the most cool thing that happened to you?
Most of our stories involve us showing up to a kid who's scared, sometimes literally hiding behind a parent. And I say hiding, I mean literally
Right.
hiding behind a parent. And sometimes it's 1 visit, sometimes it's 2, sometimes it's 15. And then you all of a sudden see a different kid. You know, you see a kid who's ordering you around,
That's
telling you to jump with them on the swings, pretty much just commanding a big group of bikers around.
That's
And
right.
that's really what we're trying to do is
Yeah.
we're trying to get them to gain that power and that authority back,
That's right.
that strength, you know. So that's really most of our stories is
Yeah.
is a scared kid to a oh my gosh, we created a monster almost. they're
I
gonna
prefer that,
stick up for
though.
themselves.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. That's needed very well. And do you have a specific one or kind of the same thing?
Pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
It's just watching them blossom into the kid that that they should be.
What did they used to
Or that they originally
Right.
were.
Right.
So, but we don't know that. So we just do the best we can to make sure that they're empowered and that they can go on with their life and be amazing.
And do you know how many kids you've actually helped, like in Vegas and across the country, or world? The world now, I guess.
A
That's
lot.
awesome.
I'm sure it's a lot.
Yeah.
No, I don't have the numbers on that.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're constantly riding out to go see new ones. We're
Really?
constantly going to court. So it's And that's not just our chapter. That's across the world.
Right.
So, yeah, I don't have exact numbers on that.
No,
I'm sure they're out there somewhere.
Right. Now, and so you said it happens a lot. Then they have to get in contact with you guys and stuff. That's so sad.
I mean, child abuse is rampant. Not just in Vegas. It's all over the world,
it's
and
everywhere.
it's a cycle.
Yeah.
And when you grow up being abused, unfortunately, a lot of the times you end up being the perpetrator yourself.
Right.
So, yeah, it's an ongoing cycle that we're trying to break that cycle, break that abuse.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Which, like I said, is so needed. And yeah, it just because it's such a tough situation, and you don't want to think about it, because I could cry thinking about what these kids have to have gone through, some of them. But like you said, and they just learn and they continue on the process a lot of times, and not all the time at all, but a lot of the reasons why they don't continue is because of people like you really going out of your way and helping them and showing the support, which is just amazing. So. And how do people get in touch with you, like if they're kids?
Sure. Well, if you're in the Las Vegas area, or Southern Nevada at least, our toll-free hotline number is 877-333-3097.
Okay.
Or if you're anywhere else in the world, you can go on to bacaworld.org. There is a section for chapters. It'll give you all the countries. You can click on it. You can click on your state. Usually it'll give you a map. You can click on your town, and it'll give you that local chapter's hotline number. It'll give you where they meet, all that kind of stuff, as well as usually their board, who their president is, that kind of stuff. Although if you want to call just the international hotline number, that is 1-866-71-ABUSE.
Okay.
If you called that and you said, hey, I'm in Las Vegas, Nevada, they would transfer that over, and they'd get the call right to us.
Gotcha. And is it usually the parents that reach out to you? Or?
Yes. The referral must come from a parent or legal
really?
guardian.
Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha.
I mean, we can't just show up at somebody's house, knocking down their door, trying to help them. It needs to be a parent or guardian
Gotcha.
requesting our help.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Then once a request comes in, our child liaison, that's my job currently, will verify the information. We need to make sure that, number one, the abuse was reported.
Okay.
Okay. We don't necessarily need to have charges filed.
Right.
It doesn't need to be going to trial or anything like that. But you need to at least report it.
Absolutely,
That could be to a school counselor, to Metro Police, to Department of Family Services, whoever it is. I just need to verify that you have reported it. And then we'd usually set up a first visit where a few of us go out. And really what we're trying to do is making sure that kid wants us there.
Right.
Because if mom and dad call us and they say they want us there and we show up and that kid wants nothing to do with us, we're not going to do them any good.
Right.
So really we show up and just make sure that they're okay. And then if everything's good, that's where they'll pick their road name and kind of get introduced to us. And then after that, we'll actually bring out our whole chapter for what we call level 1, which is almost like an adoption. So they get their vest and their road name. We give them a bear.
Cool.
We do a couple ceremonial things with stuff. And if their parents or guardians want to, and if they want to, we'll take them on a ride. And then that's kind of when they join our family.
That's awesome. And, I have to ask, because unfortunately a lot of times it is the parents who do the abuse. So do social workers or anything, are they able to reach out to you? Have they?
Sure. We've had many kids who are currently with a foster parent. We've had CASA advocates call us. We've had in the past DAs call us. Sure, they can.
That's great.
I've had a therapist call with the parent in the room. So as long as the family is on board and okay,
right, okay.
sure, we can be contacted by somebody else. But I'm gonna need to speak with the guardian.
Right. Gotcha. Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Well, there's this legal, absolutely.
Right.
So, no, that's so cool though, and so it's all type of abuse, right?
Correct.
So not just sexual or anything. It's all types of abuse. Okay, that's wonderful.
Yeah, it's runs the gamut from sexual to physical to emotional to
and
neglect.
mental abuse is sometimes
neglect.
worse.
Sure,
Yeah,
mental
absolutely.
abuse.
Okay.
Unfortunately, it takes many different faces.
Absolutely. No, but I just think that's amazing. And have you guys actually personally been the 24-hour call for the kids, or are you usually how do they decide who's the 24 hours there for the kid that they could call anytime?
Oh, well, that has to be, number one, a full patch member.
Gotcha.
So in order to be a full patch member, you need to be over the age of 18. You need to have regular access to a motorcycle that can keep up.
Right.
Yeah, we ride fast. You better keep up. And then they need to at least spend 1 full year after their background check, riding with our chapter,
That's
going
great.
to our
You guys do
events.
background checks.
Yes,
too. Yeah.
yes. Everybody goes through a federal and local background check. And then after that year, they are eligible to become a member. And once they do become a member, that's when they're eligible to become a primary to one of our kids.
A primary, that's it.
Yes.
Okay. And have you guys been that? Or
I have.
A lot, or?
I
Yes.
believe we are both currently primaries to kids.
Yes.
That's so cool. Wow, I like I said, I just think that's absolutely amazing, and I thank you guys so much for getting involved too. And you know, people sometimes have negative views about bikers, and they're just big scary people. But you guys are really so sweet and have a heart of gold. And I just, like I said, I think people are people, and you guys really show that you guys are there. I mean, and for kids, the most important things are our future, and they're so innocent, and they are put in such terrible situations at such a young age. And I just think it's really, really incredible what you guys do.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, we actually have an event coming up.
Oh yes,
So
absolutely.
if anybody would like to come out and meet Baca, and it's a community day with Baca, and basically there'll be all kinds of activities, different games, different events, different prizes. There'll be food, and then there'll be some community partners as well out there. So there'll be lots of resources that you can reach out to, a lot of networking and stuff like that. And it will be on March the 28th from 10 to 4 at the Fraternal Order of Eagles, which is 1601 East Washington Avenue. And it is the corner of Washington and Bruce, and it's north of Cashman Field.
Okay. Awesome.
So, and you'll come out and you can meet the Baca members, and you can learn our mission and our creed and what we do, and
that is
it's
open
just
to
a
everyone.
really good time, and it's open to the community.
Yep.
It's called Community Day with Baca,
That's so cool. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. So March 28th.
March 28th.
Awesome. Yeah, and we'll put that all up here too, so people could see that
Okay,
actually
great.
and have it. But and we'll put that when we post it, because like I said, I just think it's amazing. And how do people join you? Like, if they want to get involved with it, how can they? Do you have to be a biker, or like how can you get involved?
Yeah. That's first word
Yeah,
in my name is
you have to
biker.
be a biker.
Yeah, you're gonna have to be a
Right.
biker. And if you're not a biker, you're at least gonna have to become
Learn
a biker.
how to be one, right?
Yeah. Bikers work off of usually loyalty, integrity, honor, respect. We mean what we say what we mean, and we show up when we say we're gonna show up.
Yeah.
So as long as you can do that, and you're willing to ride for those kids, whether it's raining, whether it's 120 degrees.
Yes.
'Cause
We're
we
not,
ride
yeah,
all
we're not
the
what's
time.
called a two biker. It's never too
Right.
hot. It's never too cold. It's never too rainy.
Right.
We ride.
That's great. Wow. Like I said, just thank you so much for doing that. And I think it's so great that it's worldwide. I didn't even know it was worldwide. I just thought it was nation. But I mean, really, that's so cool. So very cool. And once again, why don't you go over where people can get in touch with you guys, and
Sure.
and the website and everything.
Sure. Our general website is bacaworld.org. Our international hotline number is 1-866-71-ABUSE. And if you would like to get in contact with just the Nevada chapter, our hotline number is 877-333-3097. And our mailing address is P.O. Box 50334. That's Henderson, Nevada, 89016.
Perfect. And you guys, are you across all of Nevada, or just mostly Vegas area?
Currently, we do cover the entire state of Nevada,
Wow.
not just with our chapter, but with several in the
Awesome.
state.
Very cool. Well, thank you guys so much for being
course.
on. I really, really appreciate it.
Thank
It's an
you.
honor. And we, of course, will be posting on March 28th and everything to get people out there, because what a great way to learn more
Sure.
about it and so show the support. So.
And
Absolutely.
it's a free event. We're not
It
going to
is.
take your money.
It's free.
Oh, yeah, the video
great.
that actually went viral. I mean, it has tons and tons of views.
The one from our website?
Yes, I've seen it everywhere, all over the place. But it really explains a lot and shows just kind of what you do in detail, and I think it's awesome. So we'll be playing that after
Of
the
course.
show too, so people can check that out after. So
Great.
thank you guys so much for being on,
Of course.
and
Thanks for
thank you
having
guys
us.
so much for watching. And remember, never give up, always believe, and you'll achieve. Thank you, and God bless.
What do I get out of Baca? Wow. The knowledge knowing that I've done something that no one else can do. And that's to give a child their life back.
Baca is probably the only organization that can do what it does that exists in the world right now.
The goal of Baca is eventually to break the chains of child abuse, so that these children don't grow up and bring what happened to them into their relationships.
First found out about Baca through my counselor, and she said that we should look into this, that Baca was a group of bikers who help and they support kids who've been abused. Before the abuse, I do remember like a happy, just normal life.
Rhythm was very carefree. She was loving and fun.
When I told my mom, she talked to me for about an hour.
She came in and she said, I'm being abused and I want you to know I don't want it to happen anymore. I want it to stop.
My extended family didn't think my story was true. They thought a lot of it was made up. I had night terrors. I was seeing like 2-3 counselors. That was partially why my counselor informed us about BACA.
Level 1 is the first interaction that the child's going to have with the entire chapter. It's where we bring that child in and make them part of our biker family.
Leading up to the night of my level 1, I was kind of like not sure what to expect. All I knew is that there was going to be a lot of bikers at my house in the morning.
When a child's been brought into BACA, and we decided that it's a case that fits our mission, we as the chapter as a whole will ride off to wherever the child feels safe at to meet. That means the whole chapter goes, everybody's had a background check or bride.
There's a little bit of a ceremony that goes on with it. The child's reminded about the initial contact where everything is explained to them, what BACA is, what we do, what we don't do.
We present them with a vest, and it has a patch on the back of it and their road name, and it just makes them feel part of.
They get assigned two of the members as primaries. Those members are on call for that child 24/7 around the clock.
Peppermint, would you like to meet your primaries now? We have Rembrandt and Lucy. Rembrandt and Lucy have always been here for me, and BACA will always be here for you.
Hi, Peppermint. I'm Lucy. It's nice to meet you.
Hi, Peppermint. I'm Rembrandt. Nice to meet you.
Seeing this like group of adults, bikers, like being so kind, not even bringing up what happened to me, just saying like, hey, we're here for you, like we're your new family. It meant the world to me.
The level 1 is probably something that is the most empowering part of what we do, because we see a huge change in these children. After about 40-45 minutes, those kids are interacting with our members. In some areas, they go for rides with the membership. They take them on a short ride around the neighborhood.
They looked at her like she was just another amazing young kid.
We're just there just to empower them, to show them that there's people out there that really care about them, and that they're becoming part of our family. And then when they become part of our family, that we have their backs.
When there's a court case, if the judge allows us, we will escort that child to the courthouse. A lot of times when kids go to court, the family members of the perpetrator will show up and they try to intimidate that child. I see these kids, the light come back into their eyes. I get more out of BACA than I could ever put in.
Standing up for child abuse is probably one of the bravest things somebody can do.
You see them after we get involved, and their self-confidence is beaming. They're doing better in school, and they're not afraid anymore. And that's what we do. We give them their life back.
I grew as an individual. I joined clubs in high school. I became varsity captain of the cheer team. I was a vice president. I'm going to college. I owe that to every single person in my life, especially Baca, who stood by me and who supported me and said, it's okay to be scared. We're here for you until you're not.
Nobody gets paid in Baca. Everybody's volunteer from the president down.
We, my brothers and sisters, will do whatever we can to make sure that they feel safe. And when we do that, they can trust again and they can start being kids again. That's what I get out of Baca.
Everything on this patch means something. The white is the innocence of the child.
The red is the blood that's been shed.
The black represents the dark times that child is going through.
The skull and crossbones is death to child abuse.
The fist is our commitment to fight child abuse. And the chains on this patch stands for one Baca, one united nation. This patch means everything to me. This is my family.
If you are being abused, if you are scared, tell somebody.